All right, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Kyle Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostle, great millstone, honor salutations, sincere Akim, laboring in this truth. And this show right here, we're gonna call it Just for the Record. We never justify no BS, nor will we cut. All right, and it's just for the record, you know. I mean, take it how you want to take it. You know, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the spirit got on me to go into this because I was watching the head apostle Tahar. I was watching the show he did, and he was basically playing some of the video from Captain Tazaryak's video, speaking with the whole Sakari nasty debacle and everything. And you know, he was he went kind of into history, but you know, we're not gonna rewrite history. All right, he tried to compare us. Almost it seemed like he was trying to compare us to Alizé with Yohanaba, and that's not correct. The way that you said we got cut with the scripture y'all brought out, that didn't apply to the situation, and nor did we justify Yohanaba in that situation. But matter of fact, I'm gonna play the video first so you can hear him say what he was saying. And again, I'm just correcting it because look, and GMS would be the first ones. Say if we did justify Yohanaba, what we thought, we'd come out and make a video apologizing, man. Like I said, a lot of these other guys, you don't never hear them making videos apologizing. I remember it was one time, it was a guy, what was his name? Rob Karab, right? I think he used to be with AOC, right? I mean, he go back to House of David, you know. I remember seeing him actually in One West. And Pastor used to tell us the history about that guy. But anyway, he made a video where it sounded like he was bigging up Haile Selassie. So we made videos, condemning that. And then him and some other brothers from back in the days, they said that we went off because he wasn't saying that, he wasn't bigging up Haile Selassie. So what did we do? We all of us. I remember Pastor said, hey, we was wrong. We falsely accused him. Although it seemed very much like the case, but all right, he said he wasn't doing that. We all made videos apologizing. So there's no shame in our game. If we go off or whatever like that, we would apologize. But we never justified, a man wearing panties. Okay, we back to that, which I'm gonna let Tazaria. I'm gonna play the part where he's going into that. All right.
Ago, I remember back when we was battling GMS. Commander Jenny Hanna, because he was the only one really speaking. It's for those that don't know, back in like I want to say it was like 2011, 2012. I was only an officer of 50 at the time, and Captain Ty War and Tahar got into it on the street. So it's Tahar on one side, Captain Ty War on another side, me and another brother on the other side. Captain Ty War and Tahar is going at it. And after that, ISUBK and GMS, we was going at each other all the time.
See, and I just want to stop it right there because it didn't start from there. Tension was building up. Even matter of fact, prior to the week, it was because at that time, ISUBK was speaking down, I think at the island or whatever. So they would walk by our camp, with that same proud look or whatever, wouldn't want to salute brothers. And back then, and the thing is, what happened, because it was an issue before that, all right, before that. So by that point, not that it was, again, we don't believe in none of that banging and none of that bullshit, but there was tension, but it wasn't just from that day. So he makes it look like they walked up and they got in. No, it was tension because it was a video. I forget the video. This is going way back. Pastor Gabar did, because one thing I'll say with ISUPK, when because most Israelites abandoned us when we did the video about you're a slut. So you gotta go back into the history. And Tazaryak might not have been in ISUPK back when the video actually came out, because actually Tazaryak was following GMS first. All right, so always gonna put the, just for the record's sake. All right. So anyway, ISUBK, they were the only brothers that that, because she was out of line, right? So with other Israelites, they withdrew themselves from, y'all went about the wrong way, blah blah, right? I told the story of how Bakwash and them 14th Street, because they used to all come by, because we was out there, all right? So anyway, that was cool. Like, they was one of the few that was still like, nah, y'all brothers is right, shalom, boom, boom. But now, and we told you the history about Yohana, because Yohana took a hiatus, right? He took a hiatus, right? Which, he ran into Apostle Tahar. He was working, I believe it was for Pepsi Cola. I remember when Apostle Tahar told us, Yohana had the braids in his hair or whatever. And then he seen Apostle Tahar, because, they know each other, all right? They know each other. And I remember, and again, Yohana was down with, he goes back, he was down part of the Central Command. Supposedly, when all that stuff came about, which is going into older history from the 90s, but he supposedly apologized, right? Because why? The hammer came down, that whole Central Command got broken up. But he went down south to Philly, because he was always going back and forth to Philly, from what I remember. Because we used to, he had a show called, what was it, Black Watch? Because I know I used to have the videos tapes in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where he would interview Apostle Tahar, right? So I used to upload them on the shows that we had back then, the Big Payback and other shows we had. So we always would talk about the history, and when he ran into Apostle Tahar that day, and I guess what he said later on is he had to go back and build up some money, or something, I forgot what he said. But Apostle Tahar said when he ran into him, he saluted him, and he was surprised. Basically, he was surprised that, because we still was out there teaching. When the year 2000 came, and when we say that, we say it humbly but truthfully, all right? And with all boldness. Now you see Israelites all over the place, man, all right? And you see them disrespectful too, all right? Like Alizé, all right? Alizé, and look, and Cesar, you was buddy with Alizé. A lot of the other guys were buddy with him, all right? In which, hey, that's cool, but the scriptures say, could two walk together except they be agreed? At GMS, we ain't rock. Once he started going down his path and all that stuff, we was rebuking him, actually. We were the main people rebuking him. That's why he hates GMS guts, all right? But anyway, Yohana did tell Apostle Tahar that, and forgive me for ranting, but, I'm just, as is coming back to memory, since he had mentioned that, I'm just showing you at that time how things started. It wasn't that day when he's speaking about when they met up. That was just when it sort of came to a head. But Yohana seen Apostle Tahar, but Yohana wasn't out there teaching. All right, this ISUPK, as you see him now, they wasn't, there. Which Yohana went back and took the name, I believe. But and you could correct me on that part. But he told Apostle Tahar, we need the Most High, we need more men like you, because Apostle Tahar was still out there teaching. They said Shalom. Then eventually Yohana started coming out there. They was out there teaching. But now, if you know anything about Great Millstone and Apostle Tahar, we're no respecter of person. And that's why I had to make this known for the record's sake, right? Because it's cool as Apostle Tahar and Yohana, the history that they had back in the 80s going into the early 90s, right? He still, he was, and it wasn't just Yohana, but the guys that were following him, they got offended because Apostle Tahar was calling out a lot of, not just Yohana. He was calling out, where is everybody? He said there should be camps on all these streets, right? And then, of course, Yohana, he started teaching down there. And then he was about to, like Apostle Tahar said in his video, he was because we were teaching about the MOTB back then, all right? And then Yohana he had a problem with that breakdown. And it was a show that Apostle Gabar, I know I might be a little all over the place, just bear with me. It was a show that Apostle Gabar had put up. And the same thing happened with Zabat, all right? And because they was all good when we was, getting on other people, but we basically got on Yohana for not being, because you got to be diligent. The scripture say in season, out of season, even still right now, right? Yohana retired from, as far as I see him, maybe he's somewhere speaking that I just don't see. I mean, I know he might do a radio show every week, but we supposed to be out there in the highways and the byways. King Mashal was out there to the end, all right? But anyway, that's not the point. The point is they got offended at the show that Apostle Gabar put up, and they like, what's he doing up there? Yohana doing up there? And then that's when the tension built up. And then eventually it came to a head, like what he's going into about the confrontation, You know, so it was. I just wanted to go there to let you know there was a backstory. You know, it wasn't just like it just popped off right then and there. No, that's when it came to a head. All right, but prior to that, there was tension because they got mad, and we wasn't doing it out of, and even still we don't. I mean, a lot of guys take it that way because why? Nobody like to be told that they're going off or whatever. You know, and you know, a lot of Jake is honorable. Like you got people, which I still can't get this. Like how the hell you still rocking with Gorilla when you see that this nigga is uglier than a gorilla? The shit that he's doing, right? But anyway, whatever. Blind leaders are the blind. But we wasn't doing it to, like as malicious. The spirit that was on Apostle Tar to rebuke all the people that was once in the old school because they wasn't going out or they wasn't teaching the truth. They started changing the doctrine. Those were the things that came. All right, and then that's where it became with HOI. You know, we had to back and forth with them, and we had to back and forth with these brothers, ISUBK. And that's what Desir's going into right here.
And then Commander Jenny Hanna gave a story of how Yohanaba, who was in GMS at the time, got kicked out the school because his wife ran to the school to say how he used to wear women's underwear and defecate in them.
which is crazy. But honestly, we never heard of nothing like that. Yohanaba was still in the school, bro. You know? Yohanaba was still in the school. So, like Apostle Tar said, if that was something that happened, Apostle Tar never had no knowledge of it, which Apostle Tar was coming, working with us, and that's when he was building up in Connecticut. But Yohanaba was still in One West, man. All right? All the way into the split, and then he left with King Masha. You know, as far as I could recollect. So, that never was voiced. We never heard nothing like that. Yohanaba said he ain't do nothing like that. So what do you think we gonna do? All right, not that we defended wickedness or whatever. And I remember because there was a video that the spirit, you know, I was teaching with some of the other brothers, and I remember they took it as a clip, and they tried to use it like we. I said, nah. I said, look, what goes behind? I remember clearly. I said, what goes behind the closed door with another man and his woman. I said, that's nobody's business because the scriptures say what? Who knoweth the way between a man and his mate? Now, of course, it's up for that brother. That I wasn't justifying no wickedness, no cross-dressing or whatever the case is, because we always taught against that. We never was rock with nobody like that, man. All right? It don't mean that you should be getting pegged, which, okay, I guess, you know, you learn something new every day. You know, even some shit you might not really want to know, but we never taught none of that. So the whole thing with Gorilla is nothing in common with us, with GMS. All right? The situation with Yohanaba, you know, and even still to this day, I haven't seen, you know, I don't know now if Yohana was in a council when this took place, all right, then why was Yohanaba still in the school? All right? So I still don't know that situation. All right, Yohanaba, you got to take that up with Yohanaba, okay? Yohanaba did his thing. We continue pushing the word, all right? We didn't get caught up into it because, you know, my thing was, look, the spirit will reveal if he really did do that. And if he did do that, yeah, he was off. All right. But he ain't sit there and now Alizé got caught red-handed with the receipts to where he had to confess, which, I mean, you going into it, the spirit had you, well, you was the first brother I seen break the news at first, but nah, homie, they ain't got nothing to do with us. And I didn't know that y'all read Acts the 5th chapter against us back then, but that, you know, has not, like in Apostle Tar's video, he goes into the history with Ananias and Sapphira. That had nothing to do with no down low, dirty cross. That had nothing to do with that. All right? But now the scriptures do say when you read later in the 5th chapter, right, this counsel or this work be of men, it shall come to naught. But if it be of the Most High, you cannot overthrow it, least happily you be found fighting against the Most High. So I'd say through all them years, and even prior, you said you came in around 2010 or somewhere, 2011, and them brothers that was in Mississippi said that they were teaching you first, right? When you said you drove by GM, because see, a lot of people didn't want to fuck with us back then because they felt we were too controversial. You know, now they sit there and talk about the most controversial. People ain't want to fuck, because why? We didn't have a respect of a person, and that's why I just wanted to just speak on this, because we never were that type of camp. You know, trust me, there was a whole group of dudes that was over me that was in our camp that got put out of the camp for doing shit or doing less than wearing some panties. So if we knew Yanaba was wearing some goddamn panties at the time, which, obviously he ain't been with us or whatever the case is, which, I mean, he was older and had health issues, whatever. But obviously we wouldn't have been around him. All right. And actually, not to put all our business in the street, there was issues that we had with Yahanaba that we keep in-house stuff in-house, right? We had councils and everything, and it wasn't nothing to do with no goddamn panties. All right, it was with him, he started butchering a couple of scriptures, and through the Spirit we had come back in them days. All right, but we never justified him wearing no panties. I still haven't, only person I heard say that is Johanna. As far as I seen it, he just, which it was funny. It shit was funny. I give it to him. You know what I'm saying? But he's the only person I ever heard say that. And he knows Johanna, but Johanna knows his family, his brother, and all. So, as far as I know, and especially back then when we was with us, we ain't justifying no shit like that, man. So don't do that, man, because now you're gonna start bearing false witness, my brother. All right, if you're gonna get at us with truth, and not that you were just speaking on the story here, right? But we don't compare to what happened with Gorilla. All right, we never justify that shit. Somebody do something like that, all right? Even just, like y'all try to call us grapists. We ain't never grape nobody. If something like that was to happen, that brother would be fucking tossed right out if it was a brother that did some stuff like that. And beware of how you speak, because Al-Azhar was speaking crazy against Apostle Tahar and the rest of the men of Great Millstone and trying to destroy the doctrine, right? And now look at where he found himself at. You had Discomforter. They sat there. We called the dude Fat Joe and Pookie, the Puerto Rican dude, and the ashy black nigga that was, nigga looked like Pookie from New Jack City. Watch, y'all ain't gonna be out here no more. Y'all ain't gonna. Look what the Lord did to them. The Lord destroyed that whole movement. All right? And just like now, they said, because the mystery, a thing too that Johanna never addressed, and we didn't go, because, some stuff seems like gossip. There's a lot of things that we heard and knew about certain other different camps, HOI and all that, but we didn't put that out there because that, our thing is about reproving. It's a doctrine thing. That's what the whole issue is about. Because the scriptures say two could not walk together except they be agreed, right? 1 Corinthians 1 and 10, I'm just quoting scriptures, that we all speak the same thing. And that's what the issue was overall with Johanna, or General Johanna, Bishop Nathaniel, definitely GOCC, and all these other groups. They were teaching different doctrines. So, yeah, like the Apostle Paul said, I'm set up for the defense of the gospel. That's what that was, man, not gossip, all right? Because they said, and I don't know if this is true, and maybe y'all can speak on it if y'all want, but there was people saying that, because remember, Johanna used to be a part of One West with High Priest Ariah, and they said what happened was he got caught, with an underage woman, and they had to send him down and pay the people, try to document them. They had to get money together, pay the girl's parents off, not to bring charges, so the school wouldn't look bad or whatever. I don't know how true that is, but that's what they kept saying back then. And I never heard Johanna go into it and address that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you even know anything about that or whatever, but at the end of the day, it wasn't no receipts or nothing. Our issues was the doctrine. All right. And again, and it's still that. What do you guys still say about the MOTB? Because Tazar, you try to break it down and you butchered it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have it. And that's from that pride, man. All right. The script, learn from, hey, we all can learn a valuable lesson from this guy, man. Of course, definitely, don't let these women take you to the dark side, right? But definitely humility, man. Before honor comes humility, okay? So really, a lot of y'all going to have to, because again, I did a video earlier, and that's the current thing that's happening, man. This devil, what he's doing, which he's fulfilling prophecy, he's pushing the MOTB, okay? Y'all can't keep running around talking, it's a cell phone. You got, John the Baptist had the mark of the, y'all can't keep running around with these fairy tales, man. You're going to have to address the real issue about the MOTB, and again, I'm just saying it, and this show is just for the record, take it for whatever it's worth. You can say, I didn't go, whatever. Spirit just got on me when I heard this. I said, well, let me just correct that part of it, because he was rolling, he was bringing out some valid points, and we never, you on point, but when you off, you off.
Yohanabah didn't deny it either. He's what Yohanabah said is similar to what Gorilla Hebrew said. What Yohanabah said was, a woman would tell a bedroom secret. So for Yohanabah, that was him and his.
And to be honest, and maybe I don't remember him saying it, but if he said it, I mean that's still, he should have just said yes or no if you asked him. All right, he didn't tell us. He told us he ain't do that. So he should have said yes or no, but whatever.
His wife's bedroom secret. But what the wife knew was that it was wrong to do and told the school as she was supposed to. And I remember when that happened, GMS was like, a woman ain't supposed to tell, a woman ain't supposed to tell, a woman ain't supposed to tell. And Commander General...
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, like I said, the only thing I remember about that, and I remember y'all used a clip, right? I said, what goes on between a man and a woman behind closed door, that's their business, all right? And so if you took that as in no way whatsoever, all right, I'm just going on what the scriptures say. Who knows the way between a man and a woman, a man and his mate? And at the end of the day, I'm not concerned. We all know what we're supposed to be doing. We all know we ain't supposed to be into none of that nasty business that, Peggy Sue was into. And vice versa, none of that. So brothers should fucking know that. That goes without saying. All right. But again, I didn't, I wasn't privy to that. I still don't know about that or whatever the case is. And, Yohanabah is not with GMS right now. So, hey, he's older. He's dealing with his health. Whatever he's dealing with, that's what he's dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But nah, we wasn't just, that's the problem. Or the point, should I say, just for the record's sake. We never justified none of that shit, man.
General Yohana was so cold with it. This is the scripture that Commander General Yohana brought out that cut them to piss. This is Acts the 5th chapter, right? So now, to give y'all context.
Yeah, and really, we never got cut. I didn't even know he read that scripture on us, man. But if that's what y'all feel, that's how y'all feel. At the end of the day, the Lord is on the whole, the Lord said, then shall my servants be made known. The Most High is exposing everybody, man. And see, and the thing we stand on is what? 100% truth. A lot of guys got offended over that. But at the end of the day, we're going to see who has the 100% truth. All right? But, like I said in the video, he's going and making points about the hypocrisy, and I guess the dude who revealed it, he's revealing all that, so be it. But now, okay, Shalom, GMS, VA. Now, read the scripture and I'm going to close out. I ain't intended for it to go this long, but this is Ecclesiastes chapter 42, verse 1. Of these things be not thou ashamed, and accept no persons to sin thereby. I mean, we have no problem. We rebuke. I don't even know how much we get on each other. Our pastor get on all of us. Sometimes it might be on. We do it live. We get, but for the most part, we we have counsels and whatever, throughout the years. I'm saying not like because brothers is doing what they're supposed to be doing. We looking to get the fuck up out of here. We ain't, what I'm saying? We looking to do the things pleasing to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. But we don't have a problem with correcting nobody. Nobody's above correction. All right, Pastor Torah taught us that back in the 90s. All right, and going back to and not to say that maybe that didn't happen, because as Pastor Torah brought out with the leadership back then, and not taking nothing from them, because the scriptures say, does not the scripture say great men are not always wise? So Pastor Torah brought out the fact that back in One West, a lot of things were getting swept under the rugs. There was a lot of wickedness, adultery. All right. See, what's going off is the scriptures say sitting at all with another man's woman. All that sitting there talking, oh, this is my sister, I'm her spiritual father. That's off. That's wickedness, man. All right. That's wickedness, man. So this ain't supposed to be no commiserating and all that. Okay. But anyway, you eliminate that problem, period, by what? Leaving a woman at home. If brothers got wives, then your wife stay at home. She want to learn, she learn from you at home. She don't go to amongst the congregation and sit and learn or whatever. That's not what the scriptures are speaking about. See, we We go into the spirit of what the scriptures are speaking about, man. And that's why Apostle Tahar made the order back in the Connecticut school that no more women would have come there. Because why? Women cause confusion. All right? Women, a lot of y'all camps, y'all know y'all went through y'all share of problems, right? Of adultery, pillow talking, false accusations. And it's crazy, the things that, again, and that's why, whatever, y'all can say what y'all want to say about us, but Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has been with us and still with us. And the things that most times people accuse us of, look what happened to Sister Polite, all right, that shot up the Bible, try to get the Bloods and the Crips to do something to us or whatever they thought, try to sit there and push the fact that we were, just slander, straight up slander. Now look at him. He got caught doing what he was accusing us of, man. And we never did none of that shit, man. And we can stand here boldly before you. And you know, if we did anything like that, we'd have been up underneath the jail. All right? You had Alizé talking all kind of shit about us. Look what the Lord just did to him. Okay? And the list goes on of different people. Nate, they accuse us of these things, right? And they slander. And they still do, because that at the end of the day, that's the go-to. Y'all can't deal with the scriptures. And that's the only thing, going back to the Yohanaba thing, which I'm just speaking on it because I heard the brother mention it. And we're going to let the record reflect the right thing, what really happened. All right? But that was it turned into a cop-out, because we sit there and ask you about the scriptures and the mark of the beast and everything in the breakdown. Then y'all want to sit there, and at the end of the day, hey, that's between, if Yohanaba did any of that stuff, that's between him and the Most High, man. We're just telling you we don't know nothing of him doing that, just like the Apostle taught. If anybody, so, that right there is inaccurate, right? But anyway, reading on, it says, and accept no person to sin thereby, of the Lord of Most High and his covenant, and of judgment to justify the ungodly. You see? We're not going to sit there and justify the ungodly. Just like we're not justifying this wicked nigga right now. There is no justification. Okay? So, yeah, okay, now the Lord outed Alizé, Sakari, right? And now this is going to create another ripple effect, because a lot of y'all pledged allegiance, so to speak, to each other, right? Like a lot of y'all conspired against GMS, right? What's this, how the saying go? An enemy of my enemy is my friend, or whatever. So a lot of y'all banned this unity camps, this, that, and the third. Y'all know that GMS, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we stood by ourselves in the spirit of Yahweh Shai. We trusted in the foundation of Yahweh Shai. All right? We didn't sit there. We said, nah. And it's not that it's beef. We seen brothers from other, hey, shalom, but we ain't going to none of your cookouts, picnics, Passovers, and we're going to curse you out if you go off. That's been the staple the Lord put on us, man. All right? Because that's what the prophets, man. All right? He said, I hewed them down by the mouth of my prophets. Okay? They hate him that rebuketh in the gate. You see? But I'm going to jump down to the point in verse 8. It says, be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish. And we're not. We never was, never will be. Right? Because we understand that thing. And like I said, Apostle Targ should tell us that a lot of things got swept up under the rug. So that was the point of me going back there. If there were councils, because they said there was adultery going on. People was taking, I think Lahab took, I don't know if it was Shabar's wife or somebody's wife, and gave him to him. Look, man, she need to be with a general. And that's the same thing the Discomforter did, man. Okay? And that came from all of that, having your woman around. Okay? Scripture tell you as a moth from a garment, so the wickedness come from a woman. All right? And that's why you're not supposed to have a congregation of women around brothers, man. Okay? You just don't. But anyway, said, be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish in extreme age that contendeth with those that are young. Thus should I be truly learned and approved of all men living. So yeah, so in Great Millstone, from the head Apostle on down, we always dealt with the Most High's justice. His word, his laws, his statutes, commandments. We didn't turn a blind eye to, we didn't turn a blind eye to now these guys that fell off that we probably was cool with, that we had tons of brothers, man. Right? The spirit through my 30 year, 31, 32, whatever, however long it's been I've been here, I met a lot of brothers, man. Even going back to the main school. right? I mean, talk about brothers that was actually cool, all right? But a lot of them fell the fuck off. Some of them might still be out there doing, but it ain't about that. I remember Pastor Todd said years ago, back in the day, he said, fuck cool. It's not about being cool. But it's not to say that brothers might not have you know what I'm saying? Like Yeshaya. At the time, he was high priest Yeshaya. He was beloved by probably everyone in Israel because of the charisma and the character he had. He had it. But he also was wicked as all hell. All right? He was wicked as all hell. But he was, he was a beloved character. That's why Johanna brought him back from the dead from one year, I think. He had a special gift. A special surprise guest. And he came out with that red glove amongst y'all. Now, he was beloved. We all got jokes. Apostle Todd tell you, but Apostle Todd tell you the truth about him, too. You see? But he was one of the heads. So there was a lot of things going on that was off. But again, that's why the Most High broke things up and spread it out, man. You see, because the school was being infiltrated. A lot of stuff happened back then, okay? That now we could speak on in hindsight. But with that, I must say all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai and Shalom to the sincere Akim. Shalom.